It is exactly 3 after 9 o'clock. Welcome to the second hour of News and Views on Salam Media. And a reminder that this hour of News and Views is sponsored by Africa Muslims Agency. Africa Muslims Agency, a beacon of hope to communicate to communities for over 35 years in Africa and beyond. And in the second hour, we are also pleased to introduce Nomusa Cembi, the SADTU spokesperson, and we're going to be talking about the BELA bill. Very good morning to you. Welcome to the program.
Good morning and good morning to Salam Media listeners.
Thank you for your time. We are obviously going to be looking at something pretty touchy, and we understand that SADTU is advocating for the approval of the Basic Education Laws Amendment Bill, known as the BELA Bill. Let's understand, we know there are several concerns around this particular bill. Let's understand SADTU's view regarding wanting President Ramaphosa to sign off the bill. Where are we at regarding the BELA bill?
Yes, we are for the signing of the bill. We believe that every process was done to ensure that the bill, to ensure sufficient consultation with the general public, with stakeholders in education. And the process for the bill has taken close to 10 years. And then last year, just before the end of the sixth administration, it was sent to the National Assembly and it was passed. And then it went to the NCOP and it was passed. And then it went back again to the National Assembly. It was passed. And now the only thing that was left was for the president to sign. Yes, we also as SADTU, we did make our inputs to the bill. Some of our inputs were taken into account. Some of our inputs were not taken into account. But generally, we although not all of what we recommended was taken into account, we said generally we believe it should go through, because at the end of the day, the BELA bill was put in place to ensure that our laws, the South African Schools Act, aligns with the constitution of the country, in that the law allows that every learner in South Africa should access education. So overall, we feel that the bill does allow for every learner in South Africa to access education.
Okay, so currently there seems to be a stalemate of sorts because the minister, Minister Khwarube, has suggested that he's going to ask Ramaphosa to send the BELA bill back to Parliament. And issues raised there, I think issues of contentions on his part, and obviously he's a member of the DA. One of the issues that they're talking about, let's look at where that jumps out. The DA federal chairperson, Helen Ziller, also reportedly said that the bill is non-negotiable and the right of school governing bodies to determine the language policy of a school is a red line for us. So how does that sit with you? Because as far as SADTU is concerned, you're good to go with the bill as it is in its current state.
We are very much angered by what the minister has said, that she wants to approach the president for the bill to be sent back to Parliament for review. We are calling on the minister, to really take off her DA hat and now behave as a proper minister. The bill went through all the proper processes. And the DA was part of those processes, of those engagements. They also put in their recommendations to the bill. So if their recommendation on the issue of language policy and all was not taken into account, it cannot make the whole country to wait, because the DA and the school governing bodies have used language to exclude learners from accessing education. So the bill was just there to ensure that obstacles that can stop or prevent a learner from accessing education are removed. It forces the school governing bodies of the school, or it gives the right to the HOD to say, if in South Africa we are changing a lot, the demographics are changing. You'll find that a school was said to be an Afrikaans or an English medium school, and as time goes by, the demographics of the school changes. You find that perhaps like Zulu speaking people would be the dominant people in that community. And then but perhaps the school, the SGB, would insist that the school is an English or Afrikaans medium school. But the HOD, the bill gives the HOD the right to have a look at the prevailing factors of the school. And if he is satisfied that indeed the school has changed, then he would have the final say to say, then we change the language to be in line with the demographics of that school. So the DA wants to continue to preserve the old things that ensure that certain groups accessed education. We are saying to the President, please sign the bill. There was sufficient consultations done to ensure, and we want the bill to go through, as is on the issue of language, on the issue of admission policies, that they want the powers of the SGBs to be maintained. The SGB, it has been proven that some SGBs have used their powers to exclude children. So we feel it is correct that the HOD should have the final say in the admission and language policies.
Okay, let's
So
look
the
at
DA
another.
shouldn't have.
Let's look
So
at
the
another
D,
issue here. For
yes.
example, the BELA bill makes grade R the new compulsory school starting age, and criminalizes parents who don't ensure their children are in school, and also requires a delegated official to conduct a pre-registration site visit when parents apply to have their children homeschooled. Um, do you not think that that is a bit draconian?
It is not draconian at all, because it's not that those people will be at their doorstep all the time, but they will come from time to time to ensure that what is being taught there is really in line with the curriculum, in line with the fact that, because at the end of the day, even if that learner is having private or home tuition, at the end of the day, the state should ensure that whatever being taught will align and will enable that learner to access higher education in South Africa. So they have, it's not draconian. No country, no one can say they can teach whatever they want to teach, because at the end of the day it must align with higher institutions. It must align with with what the country needs. So it cannot be that people can be allowed to teach what they want to teach, and no one is there. The state is not there to ensure that what is being taught aligns. And on the issue of grade R, it's been even international education experts worldwide. It is the in thing that compulsory or proper teaching should start from grade R, and we welcome that as SADTU. We had no problem with it, because we had said it should have been done since the beginning of time to say grade R should where everything starts. So we fully agree with the BELA bill on that matter. You can remind me again on the third issue that you were
Okay.
talking about.
Uh, the BELA bill now explicitly forces all schools to purchase stationery, textbooks, and other learner and teacher support materials through a centralized tender system under department control. Another scheme designed to let ANC cadres loot while school suffers. And this comes directly from Minister Khwarube. Your thoughts on that issue?
On that matter, in our recommendations on that matter, we felt that the centralization of this would can perhaps have may cause problems in schools accessing materials on time. Yes, and we said, I mean, if it is passed like this, we are going to sit and make sure that it does not become a hindrance. We'll make sure that the officials work, and we'll make sure that we'll be on the lookout to ensure that there is no corruption takes place. We're not happy with that, but we said we will make sure that we'll monitor it as much as we can, and if there are problems, we will make a noise around that. So it's one issue that we felt it may cause delay in learning and teaching when this is centralized. However, we are going to make sure that we ensure that it doesn't cause any delays.
Sadly, up to now, it has created a lot of problems. Textbooks and learning materials have not reached many schools in townships and rural areas, and yet SADTU has allowed for that point to go through unopposed. Do you not think that you failed in that regard? Do you not think that that is actually the right way to go, to allow the schools to
Our
purchase their own
submission,
material?
our submission was that it should be done. School should be given the right
Great stuff.
to
Okay.
purchase.
Okay.
Yes, that was our submission. But
Okay.
what has come at the end, it was our submission was not taken into account.
All right. Got
Yes.
you on that one. If memory serves me correctly, a while ago, there was a lot of talk about the bathroom facilities for learners, both male and female learners. It might have been a suggestion. I'm not sure if it's contained in the bill. I don't have the bill in front of me, but apparently there was, this facility to be shared by both male and female learners. And there was a huge outcry about that. Where do we stand on that issue? Has it been scrapped or is it still standing?
It was not contained in the bill. I think that is
Okay.
one thing that has been a problem with this bill, is that there are many people, there are many forces that have come and put many things that were not in the bill, and they made an impression that they were part of the bill. We've had churches, we've had organizations that are pro GBV, that are pro LGBTQI, that are anti LGBTQI, coming in and making assertions, many things about things that are not in the bill. And
Okay.
many people
And
have not read the bill properly.
all right, fine. And then let's also talk about, I think part of, again, it might not be contained in the bill, but this was a lot of talk going around recently, probably the beginning of the year, where where children were taught about, the different sexes and how they should be respecting people who are not either male or female. So people with probably LGBTQ issues, and the school system, apparently those type of engagements would happen at a very primary school level to sensitize learners regarding this issue. Um, what are your thoughts on that? And was it in fact part of the bill or not?
It was not part of the bill at all. It was part of sexuality education, which was not part of the bill. It is one of those. There's a lot of this information that has been going around regarding the bill, and that was not part. It was part of sexuality education. And really, I feel for this, I did not prepare for that, but I know for the fact that it was not part of the bill, it was part of sexuality education. We can have another slot regarding that matter, but for us as SADTU on the sexuality education thing, we've always contended that it should be, whatever sexual education should be age appropriate, you know. So the curriculum should look at whether a learner at a certain age or at a certain grade is able to understand. So it should be introduced, taking into account the age of the learner.
Okay, we leave that for another interview, and I think it's a very important issue we need to arrange, simply because there's a lot of parents who are not in agreement for this type of education to be taking place in the schoolrooms. There are parents who believe that they will address it in their own way. There are also lots of religious leaders who are totally against this becoming part of the curriculum. But let's leave it for another time. Let's both prepare adequately for that particular interview and visit it as soon as we possibly can. But I do thank you indeed for your time on the show this morning. Is there any closing remarks you'd like to make regarding the signing off of the BELA bill?
We are appealing to the president to please sign the BELA bill. It took 10 years of consultations, and it cannot be that whatever you put forward will be taken as you said. So if the DA, some of the recommendations that they put, they were not taken into account, it shouldn't really stop this a bill which is there to ensure, because its main objective is to ensure that we align with the constitution and we ensure that every learner in South Africa can access education. We say on those bases the bill should go through because it will ensure that every learner accesses education.
Nomusa Cembi, SADTU spokesperson, talking to us about advocating for the approval of the Basic Education Laws Amendment, BELA bill, to be signed off by the president. It is exactly 9:21 a.m. News and Views moving along. And next we have on standby Yahya. I don't have a surname for him, but he's going to talk to us about the silent protest at Wits University. It took place yesterday. Let's hear what's it all about. And are they confident that they will get some sort of resolution on this particular matter?